about where the Democratic Party was going, who was going to lead the Democratic Party, was it going to, make a more moderate turn or become more progressive? And in that time, the only names that have consistently drawn crowds or consistently gotten excitement have been AOC, Bernie Sanders, and Zoran Mamdani. What does that tell us?
Well, look, I think Democrats are certainly taking some lessons from Mr. Mamdani's sort of from behind run here. His emphasis on affordability, his use of social media, but in some ways the biggest test is yet to come. I mean, if he wins the mayoralty of New York City, which he's been leading all the polls, so it's very likely he may, it will be the biggest position that a Democratic socialist and really a member of that progressive wing of the Democratic Party has ever captured. And so this will be the real test. People will be watching to see, can they govern? Can he turn these promises that have been so central to his campaign, fast and free buses, free childcare, freezing the rent, can he turn them into actual policy while running a city that isn't the easiest to run? People expect the mayor to keep the streets clean, and here in New York City, have deal with crime, deal with schools, and of course here in New York City, deal with the rats. So this is he set up quite the sort of bar for himself in this run, and I think he'll be assessed, and the progressive wing of the Democratic Party will be assessed on how well he can achieve that.
Lots of problems with affordability, lots of problems with trash. Don't sleep on that. It's a big pain in the butt for many New Yorkers, a point of frustration and contention. This being said, even though he's getting crowds, and even Kathy Hochul showed up last night and said she heard the crowd when they were saying tax the rich, there are a lot of Democrats who are uncomfortable with Zoran Mamdani. Senator Schumer, one of them, the senior senator from this state, not endorsing him so far. I don't believe Kristen Gillibrand has either. There are other Democrats from around the country that worry the label of socialist will hurt them. How well-founded are those worries?
Well, look, certainly I think there's a widespread sense in the party that what works for a Democrat to win in New York City, which is, of course, a very liberal place, is not going to work in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan or even in a place like Las Vegas necessarily. And so I think there is a sense that what he's pushing for ideologically, and certainly the fact that he's a Democratic socialist, will not work in other more moderate parts of the country. But I think there are concerns also that Republicans are chomping at the bit to turn him into sort of the party's new brand and to tag all Democrats with being just like Mamdani. Whether that's successful remains to be seen. That's something